Okay, everybody, so I'm going to show you how to use some software that comes with your book. If you install the CD in your book, what you'll find is, if you're using a Mac, you'll see the CD over here in the left in your Finder window. So what you want to do is you want to click on that, and then it has a different menu. So there are different things on this CD. One thing is you have all of the different data sets that are in the back of the book, which I recommend you use moving forward with these projects. We have different interactive applets that we might use. I'm not entirely sure. And then there's some extra data sets and also apps for the TI-83 and 84. Now if you click on this software, you'll see three things here. One of them is some programs you can install on your TI-83 or 84. One of them is the Excel add-in that you use to modify Excel to do things like histograms and counting, which I'll try to explain to you in a separate video. But the thing I want to show you today is this program here called Statdisk. So I'm going to click on Statdisk, and since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to click on Mac. And you can see this would be Windows 2000 XP and Vista. You'd go over there. So you see here it says Statdisk. I'm going to double click on that, and it's going to open up Statdisk. What Statdisk is, I'll just click OK. This is just a little license. What Statdisk is an editor where I could put some some numbers over here in the left-hand column, like so. And then if I wanted to, I could do something like calculate the descriptive statistics of those by going here, identifying that the data is in column 1, which is what this menu means, and then click Evaluate, and it tells me everything about that data. It tells me the sample size, the mean, the median, the mid-range, also things like the variance, the range, and the quartiles that we talked about last time. So I could print that, or I could copy it to the clipboard so I could include it on another file for turning in a homework or for your project if I wanted to. Let's go back over here, because the other thing that we could do is that we could do some graphs. So for instance, if I were to click histogram, this would plot a histogram of the data that I just entered. So for this last homework, you had to look at a particular data set, and luckily those are included here with Statdisk. So if I go to Elementary Stats 11th edition, the data set that we wanted to look at for the last homework is FICO credit rating scores. So I'm going to pick that, and then it loads them right here. So now there are two things I might be interested in doing. One is I could take the data and look at descriptive statistics and evaluate column 1. And if I did that, it would tell me how many data points that I have, what the mean, the median, and all these other interesting things about the data might be, like the quartiles and the median, for instance. The other thing that's good about Statdisk is that I can take this, and when I click on data again, I can go to histogram, and now what I'll do is I'll create a histogram that has class widths of 50 that starts at 400, because that's what it tells us to use in the problem that's given in the book. So then if I click plot, it gives me a histogram, and it shows me the bars whose heights are frequency. I could also do relative frequency if I clicked that. Well, I should be able to at least. For now, we'll just stick to frequency because that's what this asks us for. Then it asks us to look at this distribution and decide whether or not it's normal or symmetric. And clearly this distribution has a long tail to the left, so we would say that it's skewed to the left. Now if we wanted to see that even more clearly, what we might do is close this, go back to data, pick box plot, and then again I'm going to click column 1, then click box plot, and that makes me a box plot, which shows me the minimum of 444, the max of 850, and we can see that the median is 713.5, and the Q1 is 636.5, the Q2 is 781, Q3, excuse me, is 781.5. So looking at this box plot, it's clear that this data is skewed to the left because we can see that this whisker is very, very far away. Now we might be wondering whether or not this is an outlier, so what we would do is click on Modified Box Plot, and as you can see there are no points that are excluded. Our whiskers go just as far as they did before, there's just no hash over here, so this clearly shows us that our data is skewed to the left. So this is a very handy tool and has pretty much everything we'll need, and it's included on the CD in your book. I'll show you how to use the Excel plugin in a separate video. Okay.